Okay, so this full moon is going to be highlighting whether we worked enough or we worked too much. Hi, I'm Karina. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a healing arts astrologer, and I'm here to give you the full moon in Capricorn report. And this full moon in Capricorn is happening, drum roll please, June 29th. And this is a big one. There is a lot going on. So I first will talk a little bit about the full moon. Then I will get into the aspects. And then we will I'm going to do all the 12 signs of the zodiac and where this is going to affect you. And I'm going to use whole sign for that. And then I'm going to do a pick a card reading. Yes, I know. It's so exciting. Pick a card. I'm going to put some crystals. You get to pick the card. I'll read the card. And then I think I'll pick some other ones for just like a collective card reading. Cool. So let's get right into it. So Capricorn. What is Capricorn? Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. They initiate. They're the sea goat. They want to work hard and climb to the top of the mountain. If you know a Capricorn, they're usually all about their work. They want to work and they work a lot. They like to have nice things and they're willing to work for it. Now they are ruled by the planet of Saturn, and Saturn is the planet with the rings around it, and those rings represent the restrictions. And this could be highlighting where there are restrictions in where you're heading. Okay, so it's like the goat is climbing to the top of the mountain and he comes into a big tree that he can't figure out how to get around. And then, of course, goats just kind of figure it out, right? And they just hop on one of the limbs because they're so nimble and hardworking and super cute. And so this is all about our work, our legacy, our career, and is it working for us? Is it in alignment with our values? Does it provide the material things that we really want and we value? Also, another thing to think about for this full moon in Capricorn is if you're working too much, your body will let you know. It's called dis-ease, disease in the body. So if you are working too hard, too much, your body will get run down and you'll get sick. And then you know that you need to rest. So that is a sign maybe that you are doing too much and working too much. Then on the other side of the spectrum is kind of where I'm at. I haven't been working enough, I feel, and I haven't been planning for my future. So I am going on a big vacation for my birthday this summer, and I planned this like a little less than a year ago. And now I just realized that it's like 2 months away, a month away, and I am on, oh my God, I have to book all my stays, my hotels, like my Airbnbs, like I've got like only part of it done. So this Capricorn full moon is kicking my butt. Plus, you know, as a rising Leo, it's in our 6th house, and 6th house rules work, and 6th house rules health and daily regimens. And like, I'm just starting to have ideas again, like, oh, I totally stopped doing that health regimen and I'm going to get back into that. I've been not feeling 100% in my body. So these are just examples and things that can be coming up for this full moon in Capricorn. And it's at 8 degrees. And in step astrology, 8 degrees is ruled by Saturn. So there is a lot of karma with this full moon. We're releasing karma. We're letting go of maybe karma. Karma might be coming up to bite us in the butt, or it's coming up to bless us. Which way is it for you? Like, if no one knows astrology, everyone knows their Saturn return. The Saturn return comes around 28, 29 years old. And then you have another one that comes around 58, 59 years old, 60, right? So this is a very serious full moon indeed. So let's get into the aspects. Now, the aspects for this, let's just start with the moon. So a full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposites, and the sun is at 8 degrees of Cancer. We are in summer. This is cardinal summer. This is the beginning season of summer. We have three of the months. So you have in zodiacs, right? You have Cancer, which is cardinal. Then you have Leo, which is fixed. And then you have Virgo, which is mutable. And it ends the summer season. So this moon is squaring over to Neptune. And there's a 4-degree orb right here. What is this bringing up? Well, Neptune is the planet of illusions and dreams, and it could be confusing. It could be, it's very nebulous. It's the god of the sea. It's like Triton, right? And so there could be confusing news or mixed messages or signals that can be going on for this full moon. Also, emotional sensitivity around leadership and authority, a desire to escape responsibilities, greater spiritual awareness and intuitive breakthroughs, creative inspiration that needs grounding to really become a reality. And that's what I'm toying with right now. I'm on like go mode, right? Neptune's in my 9th house of foreign travel, future plans, education. And so I'm just been like kicked back, and like I'm actually conflicted because I'm like, do I want to plan every single night of my vacation while I'm there, or do I want to plan half of it and let the other half just go with the flow and wherever that the universe wants to take me? And that's so Neptune. But like the full moon in Capricorn's like, I don't think that's a very good idea. How about if there's no rooms available? Or how about this? And it's like you start thinking about the restrictions around I just want to go with the flow and be intuitive, right? So this is that square aspect that's happening in real life. So the moon governs our emotions. And during this square, you might notice feeling tired without knowing why. Second guessing yourself. Hi, Miss Miyagi. Feeling disappointed when reality doesn't match expectations. Wanting certainty, but receiving ambiguity instead. So, instead of forcing answers, this transit often asks us to sit with the uncertainty for a while. The higher expression, this aspect is incredibly powerful for learning how to trust both intuition and discernment. So the Capricorn could be saying, build something that lasts. Neptune saying, build it from your soul. Or together, you can create a life that is both spiritually fulfilling and practically sustainable. So that's where I'm going to be at. And the tea I'm drinking right now is my new PMT. I also added a little peppermint for my upset stomach I've been having. So, how do you prepare for this aspect? Don't rush major decisions, especially because Mercury is retrograde. And you don't have all the information. You're not seeing clearly. Neptune is clouding our judgment, and Aries may tempt you to act impulsively, and we don't want that. So instead, let's double check contracts, emails, and important details. Get extra rest and stay hydrated. Write a list. Why not? Cross each one out. I know that's very Virgo, but this is an earth sign, and we got to get practical. Meditate and spend some quiet time in nature. Journal your dreams. They may be unusually symbolic. And keep healthy boundaries with people who drain your energy. Focus on the practical step towards the long-term goal instead of trying to solve everything all at once. So, what to look forward to? The square creates movement. They don't let us stay stagnant, which is great, because maybe we've just been not moving because we don't know what direction to move. But it's time to do your research. It's time to have that diligence and hard work, release the unexpected expectations, and see where you've been wearing the rose-colored glasses, and develop stronger intuition through experience rather than just like being in fantasy la la land. Because Neptune in Aries is beginning a completely new cycle for humanity. We're collectively learning what it means to become spiritual pioneers, to act courageously while remaining connected to compassion and higher guidance. And Capricorns reminds us that inspiration is only as powerful as what we build with it. So it's like, if you want like a simple ritual for this transit, just write down 2 lists. One side, write what I can control. The other side, what I need to surrender. And then choose one practical action from the first list and one thing from the second list that you're ready to release. And Capricorn does the work for you. And Neptune lets go of what no longer needs to be carried. And then voila, that's that aspect. So another crazy aspect, okay, and this will be ongoing for a while, I'd say a year, because of the retrogrades, is Pluto in Aquarius, and that is trining over to Uranus in Gemini. That's crazy. That's crazy house. And then with Mars in the mix, I mean, shit's moving, and it's moving fast, and it's going to scare us a bit. You know, it could be an alien invasion. It could be AI gone wild. It could be robots on the roof. You know, I don't freaking know. But there is support right now where Aquarius and Gemini are in our personal birth charts. So you want to look, where's Aquarius and where's Gemini? This is one of the most exciting and future-oriented aspects in the sky right now. So while so many people are focused on Mercury retrograde or the full moon, this one is the most supportive aspect surrounding this full moon is this Pluto Aquarius making a harmonious trine to both Mars and Uranus in Gemini. And this is an air trine, and air rules our thoughts, our communication, technology, ideas, learning, networking, innovations. Uranus is unexpected communications, maybe like shit coming out like augmented reality or a new way of communicating. And it's not by cell phone. Could be like telepathy or something. But Pluto is the planet of deep transformation. And it doesn't make surface level changes. It completely restructures things from the inside out. And Aquarius is the collective. It's humanity. It's also our technology, artificial intelligence, social communities. This is like humanitarian efforts, but it's also education and the future society itself. Then we have Mars and Gemini, and Mars is action, encourage, motivation. And then Gemini, that energy becomes like curious and adaptable and quick thinking and willing to learn anything and something new. And Mars wants movement, conversations. It's inquisitive, right? And it wants to teach and sell and network and try different things and approaches instead of staying stuck in one area. And Uranus, for all those that love Uranus. What are you, 12? Grow up. But the planet of awakening, liberation, innovation, hi Mimi, surprises is also in Gemini. And Uranus loves to shake and awake. In Gemini, it's revolutionizing how we communicate, how we gather information, how we travel. Flying cars, are they coming out yet? I can't wait. Educate ourselves and connect with each other, because these planets are in trine. They're actually helping one another. Trines create flow. They don't force change. They create opportunities for the change to channel through, but we still have to choose to walk through the door. Yeah. We are a big part of our story and how this unfolds. Collectively, I think that we are going to see incredible breakthroughs in technology and AI and robotics and transportation, communication platforms. Our education system is completely changing. You know, it's probably going to have to just go away for a little bit so we can rebuild something great. Medicine is changing. I think we're going back to the witches, herbal, homeopathic, go back to the earth. We're going back to the earth. Chiron is in Taurus now. I mean, the witches were burned not because they were evil. They were burned because they were healing people with their herbs, and that's when the modern medicine doctors wanted to come in and take over. So they're like, oh, we're just going to demonize these people so then we can have this thriving new medical field. So read up on it. Sad but true. But yeah, we're going back to the roots. So on a personal level, this is asking us to become adaptable. And the people who thrive during this transit won't necessarily be the smartest. They'll be the ones who are willing to keep learning and growing and evolving and not hating on the new technology. I mean, everyone's going to be the hater, right? Everyone probably hated on when internet came out. Everyone hated on the smartphone, right? It's the new world, people. Wake up. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be working for the rest of my life as a slave. I would like the AI and the robots to do all the slave work and let me be the creator and the operator of those. They're tools. They're great tools. It's like a hammer. It's like a light bulb. You think the fire starters in the village were like, God damn it, they made this light bulb. I'm so mad I'm not going to be able to have a job starting fires. I don't know. Fire pits, is that how it was back in the day? They probably were pretty mad. God damn it. But it's kind of nice, right? After a while, we all evolve, and wow, I mean, that must have sucked having that, these lamps that I have to fill with whatever, and it only lights a part of the room. Like, now we have ring lights. But yes, there is a pro and a con to everything. I agree. Like, I don't want all this fucking shit to come out. AI, excuse my language. I really hate the fact that they're building these data centers everywhere. Like, I'm not for that at all. But they don't love us anymore. We're useless. Depopulation time. They already started that in 2020. Let's be real. But anyways, got off subject. But it's all one. Okay. So this transit is helping us break free from outdated beliefs. You may suddenly realize, I've been telling myself a story for years, but it's not even true anymore. Uranus brings those lightning bolt moments of clarity, while Pluto gives you the power to actually transform because of them. So one thing to be mindful of is information overload. Gemini moves quickly and Uranus speeds everything up. So Pluto intensifies whatever it touches. There may be an overwhelming amount of news, opinion, social media, and constant mental stimulation. The lesson isn't to consume everything. It's to become discerning. Ask yourself, does this information actually empower me, or is it simply distracting me? Now, the full moon in Capricorn reminds us that ideas alone aren't enough. Capricorn wants results. Pluto and Mars and Uranus may give you brilliant inspiration, but Capricorn says now build something with it. You have all the tools. Now what are you going to do with it? Are you going to do something with it? Or are you just going to make different pictures of yourself? Are you going to build a business with it? Are you going to build a plan with it? So if you've been waiting to start something, this is your sign. Start the business, record the video, take the class, learn the software, reach out to the mentors, and send the email, have the conversation. This is one of those rare alignments that supports people who are willing to evolve alongside the changing world instead of resisting it. And how to prepare for this transit? Stay curious instead of rigid. Learn, emerge the technologies rather than fearing them. Build strong communication skills. Network with people who inspire growth. Be open to changing your mind about some of the new information that's coming in. Don't let cognitive dissonance get in the way of your evolution. Sometimes we already know deep inside, we're like, I really trusted the government, or I really thought that shot was going to, help. And instead it ruined you. And so let's not hold on to a past belief. If there's new information, new data suggesting that is not the way it went, it's time to just, hey, look, this is a big fat learning experience for me. And I am not going to fall for that anymore. It's take action. And yeah, the world is changing rapidly, people. And this trine says that change doesn't have to be something that happens to you. It can be something you actively participate in. So those who embrace learning, innovation, authentic collaboration are likely to find some of the greatest opportunities during the cycle. I'm even thinking about taking classes, college classes, getting back in college, because there is so much new stuff that I just need to refresh. And I remember being in college when I was in my 20s, and there was people my age now back in school, and I thought, that is so cool. I was always rooting for them. I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I connected with them too, because they're the older generation that wants to keep evolving. They want to keep learning. They just don't hit a wall and oh my God, I'm so old. I can't do anything anymore. I can't go back to school. I can't get my master's. I can't get my bachelor's. I can't get my AA. I always wanted to be a nurse, but because I'm 50 years old, I'll probably never be a nurse. Just stop. Just stop. You are done when you're dead. Okay? Keep learning, keep evolving. So Chiron is freshly into Taurus. Look at that. 0 degrees. Okay? This undercurrent for years to come will be focused on our values, our self-worth, our physical experiences, our personal possessions, and healing our woundings around these themes. So what is Taurus? Taurus is our food industry too. It's our 5 senses, what we eat. Okay, so our food industry, what we feel, what our comforts are, what our values are. Where before, maybe in the 50s, the values, what were their values? Having a television, having a nuclear family, a mother, a father, and 2 kids with a white picket fence, owning a house. Those were all tangible things. This is old now. We're in 2026. We cannot not in America can we afford, or who knows, anywhere else, you can't afford that nuclear family or that American dream of owning a house, because we're finding out it's not really your house. Okay. Because they could just burn it down and not give you insurance. And now it's the government's house. Now it's back on the market. So it's like, don't work so hard for your whole life just to throw it away. What do you value? Your freedom, your happiness, or is it the 9 to 5 never ending saga just to live in a fucking house that you not own? It doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, Jupiter is at 29 degrees. This is critical degrees. It's like the Anaritic degree. It is the master. And Jupiter has mastered home and family. It's mastered how to nurture oneself when one is in pain. It is mastered our emotions. It's mastered how we protect ourselves, how we nurture ourselves and nurture others. Any kind of home, family, women, okay? Jupiter is wrapping up its yearly cycle. Well, not yearly, but 1 year cycle in Cancer. And Jupiter expands anything it touches. It brings luck, expansion, opportunity to this area of your chart, for better or for worse, because Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So if it maybe made any personal connections or was in a really like crazy house, like the 8th house or the 12th house, you might have been going through some stuff. Or if it was having any direct aspects to your malefic planets, then maybe you had a challenging year. But guess what? That year's over. So if you've been going through shit for the last 12 months, that ship is sailing at the end of this month. So yeah, each planet expresses its energy differently in everyone's chart. Now let's see. Mercury retrograde. Yeah, we're back. Mercury retrograde is happening on the 29th of June. So this Mercury retrograde is in Cancer. Well, that's weird. Jupiter just went through this whole area of Cancer, and now Mercury is going back to review. Maybe what Jupiter has taught us, or what Jupiter has brought us. And it's just like, okay, well, let's take a inventory on what I gained, what I learned, what I experienced, and how can I make better choices next time. It could be, okay, I was gifted with this and this and this. Okay, name what you've been gifted. Okay, how am I going to keep it? How am I going to keep appreciating it? Because Jupiter just gives shit without working hard for it. That's Capricorn stuff. That's Saturn. Saturn's like, you must work for whatever that you want. Jupiter's like, you don't have to work. I just give it to you. But then what happens? You can get spoiled. You can get lazy. You can just be entitled. So don't do that. Don't be entitled, because your shit will be taken away. Cherry. Because Jupiter's coming into Leo. Ooh. Leo. That's right. Leo, Leo, Leo. That's me. I'm ready. I'm ready. I just like trying to look very Capricorn, because, you know, I just think like Capricorn, oh, would look like this, straighten my hair. I like crazy hair. I'm a Leo. This is not my style. But Mercury retrograde. So rethinking, reconsidering what's going on in this area, okay, of your chart. And Jupiter is expanding. Okay. So what was really happening in your life between June and July of 2020? Because that's where Mercury was retrograde last. That's crazy, right? Was there anything coming up then that is coming back around or wrapping up now? This has to do with family dynamics. This is your family ancestry or patterns, like reoccurring cycles, or home, anything that has to do with your home, your house. Maybe there was a move, maybe a sale, maybe you bought a home, maybe you renovated your home. This also has to do with our emotional communication or childhood memories and healing, anything around our mother, our relationship with our mother, or mothering, caregiving, nurturing. Like, how do we give and how do we nurture ourselves when we're going through pain? My biological father passed in 2020, and this year, my papa that raised me passed. So there's like these two. And so this Mercury is like slowing down and being like, okay, you've been going and going and going. Let's really sit with what happened. How are you feeling? How are you moving through these losses? Okay. It's a beautiful thing that's happening with this Mercury retrograde because Jupiter is just leaving. So Jupiter is finishing its year in Cancer, and it's feeling really extra important than really the 2020. So what is your rhyme in your life that was happening in 2020, the summer, and now? And how can you build emotional safety for yourself? Okay, this is going to be the fun part. We're going to go through the zodiac. So where this full moon is happening for each sign of the zodiac. We're going to start with Aries. Aries. This full moon is shining a spotlight on your career and reputation and the legacy that you're building. So maybe you've been putting a lot of work, and now maybe it's time to see what's really paying off and what's simply draining your energy. So if you've been trying to do everything yourself, this full moon may show you where you need better systems or stronger boundaries. And you may receive recognition for your hard work. You might even pivot towards something else too that aligns better. Maybe you get released or let go of because, full moons are completions. Maybe it's just been like super stressful and you finally were like, okay, I'm done. Pivot. Am I climbing the right mountain? That's what the mountain goat's asking you. So Taurus, this is happening in your 9th house, which is wrapping up a chapter involving education, travel, spirituality, or a belief system that maybe you've outgrown. Maybe there's something that you've believed for years, maybe your whole life. Maybe it was passed on from other generations, and now it no longer fits the person that you're becoming. So say bye-bye to those old beliefs. This is a beautiful time to take a leap of faith. Sign up for a course or book the trip, overseas travel. Finally, trust your inner wisdom. And the universe is asking you to stop playing safe and start believing in what's possible. Gemini. This is happening in your 8th house. Okay. This could be very deeply transformative. Themes around shared finances, debts, investments, intimacies, and emotional healing come into focus. You could be dealing with loans, taxes, wills, inheritances, like anything that has to do with any kind of other people's resources or shared resources or finances. You may finally release an emotional burden that you've been carrying, or have an important conversation that changes the direction of your relationships. And finally, it's a great time to organize. Okay. Organize your resources, shared resources, subscriptions. Like, emotionally, this full moon reminds you that vulnerability is a strength. It's not a weakness. So Geminis, my heart is with you. Cancers, this is happening in your 7th house. Okay, so this highlights your relationships. This is contractual relationships. It could be marriage, business partnerships, whether you're single, dating, or committed, it doesn't matter. The truth about your closest connections are coming to a head. Healthy relationships become stronger, while imbalanced ones become impossible to ignore. So ask yourself if you're giving and receiving equally. With so much Cancer energy in the sky, this is also something reminding you that you don't have to carry everyone else's emotion. Boundaries are an act of love. Putting up those boundaries. Cancers, you have been getting a lot of blessings, but where you took advantage of those blessings, you're really feeling the hit. All right, Leos, this is happening in your 6th house of daily routines, work, health routines, health habits. Work-life balance is asking for your attention. So if you've been burning the candle at both ends, your body may be asking you to slow down. This is a wonderful full moon for cleaning up your schedule, creating healthier habits, and amplifying your life. Small, consistent actions now will become big results over the next 6 months. Virgos, this is happening in your 5th house of creativity, love, romance, children. Maybe you might be getting breakers. Maybe your kids are being annoying. Maybe you finished a creative project and you're having another one come right on in. Somewhere along the way, life may have become all responsibility and very little play. This lunation reminds you that happiness isn't something that you earn after finishing your to-do list. It's something you intentionally create. A romantic relationship could deepen. A creative project could come to completion, like I said, and you may simply rediscover what lights your soul on fire. And if you've been all work and no play, I'm hosting a paint and sip this Saturday at Revival Coffee, and we are painting a goat. And it's going to be a fun goat. You'll enjoy it. You'll probably be like, oh my God, this is so hard. I need to paint this goat so perfect. And then I will say, let loose, have fun, and paint. If it looks like a goat at the end, congratulations. If it doesn't, yeah, had fun. You're welcome. Libra. Libra. Ooh, this full moon is happening in your 4th house of home. Yes. This has to do with your physical home. So you could be like, oh my God, all this work needs to be done. Maybe you're having construction done. Maybe a tree fell in your house or something. Maybe there has been, breakups or something, and your wife or boyfriend or kids move out of the house. But yeah, the focus is your home. You may be making decisions, maybe about moving, renovating, or healing family relationships, or simply creating a greater sense of emotional security. You want to build a foundation that truly supports your future. Sometimes success begins with feeling safe in your own home and within yourself. So let go of any family patterns that no longer define you. Let it go. Scorpio, this is happening in your 3rd house of communications. So you really want to be careful with the weights of your words or your impatience operating a mobile vehicle. Yeah, it could be accidents. So you want to be very mindful. Important conversations, contracts, writing projects, decisions may come full circle. You may be asked to communicate with maturity, honesty, and intention. And if something has been left unsaid, this is the time to express yourself. Just remember that not every battle needs to be won, Scorpio, because we know you could be very controlling or possessive or very sharp with the tongue with that your Mars ruled sign, and you're fixed, and you can be real stubborn. So it's okay to be wrong sometimes. Sometimes the greatest power comes from choosing your words wisely. Just giving someone a hug. All right, Sagittarius. This full moon is happening in your second house of finances and self-worth and personal resources. Maybe you just had a big fat bill come up that you weren't expecting. Maybe you are ending a contract, or maybe you had a change of jobs or something. Maybe you got let go. But something is changing in your money house, and you are reevaluating now your money and whether your income reflects your true value. This is an excellent time to create a budget and ask for a raise. Launch a new source of income. Let go of spending habits that aren't serving your future. And the biggest lesson, know your worth and stop settling for less. Capricorn, this is your full moon. I'm sorry. Full moons can be intense. But think back to what began around 6 months ago. You're seeing just how much you've grown. This is your opportunity to release an old version of you. And maybe you built this version of yourself around overworking, maybe people pleasing or carrying responsibilities that were never yours to begin with. The spotlight is on you, and it's asking you to honor how far you've come. Celebrate your accomplishments, but don't forget to make room for rest and joy, because you are the most important person that you need to take care of. Because when your cup is full, then you could pour it over. If your cup is empty, nobody gets none. All right. Praying for you, Capricorn. Aquarius. Aquarius, this is happening in your 12th house. This is a unconscious house. It is your dreams. It's your hidden enemies maybe have been highlighted. Maybe your best friend was actually an enemy. You're finding some things out, and maybe you're healing. Maybe there's something that has to do with your spiritual life. Maybe something is coming up in your dreams. Your dreams could be really intense. You might want to start charting them. You may feel more emotional than usual, and that's okay for you. A little emotion makes you not a psychopath. So this is a powerful time for rest, meditation, therapy, journaling, or simply stepping away from the noise of your everyday life and pay attention to your dreams and intuition, because they may reveal something that you've been overlooking. And sometimes your greatest breakthroughs come in moments of stillness. And I want you to remember, these are mostly all for the rising. So if you're a rising Aquarius, okay, Aquariuses, look at your rising, okay, and then look at that horoscope. This will be coloring your sun, if you're a sun, moon, or rising, but this is for risings. If you're rising Pisces, your community, friendships, so the 11th house, and your future dreams are being highlighted. Maybe there was a future plan that fell through, or maybe you are making plans for your future. You may realize that you're outgrowing certain social circles too, while attracting people who align with the person that you're becoming. That's okay. It's okay to evolve. The long-term goal could finally reach an important milestone. So the full moon reminds us that success isn't about your accomplishment. It's also about who you surround yourself with. So choose relationships that inspire growth, that help you reach your biggest potential. And no matter what sign for this full moon in Capricorn, it reminds us that dreams require structure. Capricorn says, whatever you put in and work hard on, you will get out. Manifestation isn't just visualization. It's consistent discipline and showing up even when no one is watching. It is making it happen by doing the steps in the physical world, just like this ego. Okay? The The slow and steady wins the race with this energy. So if you are wanting to connect with the community and paint this goat, it's amazing. I know it's going to be very challenging and hard, but that has to do with working hard. This full moon is challenging you. So totes my goats. This is the paint and sip this Saturday, Revival Coffee, 4 o'clock on June 27th. And we are doing the full moon release gathering on Monday, the 29th at Messiah's, starting at 6:30. And it's a donation base. So if you're free and you're local, come on down and hang out with me. I'll have tea for everyone. Now let's get into the pick a card reading. Ooh, I love the small. I ain't mad at it. Okay, clear the decks. All right. So let's do a pick a card with the. Let's switch this up. I'm going to pull from the Alice in Wonderland deck. Okay, I'm going to pick 3 cards. And I'm going to put a crystal on them, okay? So I want you to think right now. Open yourself up. Okay, there's one. Card number 1. I'm going to put the Herkimer diamond on card number 1, okay? Okay, card number 2. Oh, there it is. Card number 2, I'm going to put the Moldavite on it. And card number 3. I'm going to put. Okay, one more cycle. There it is. Card number 3. I'm going to put the red ring right here. So you have a choice. Herkimer diamond. Okay. Card number 1. Card number 2. Moldavite. And card number 3. Like a ruby ring. Make your choice. 1, 2, or 3. And I'm going to read. So if you pick card number 1, you picked use your time well. Oh, that's such a Capricorn card. Use your time well, because Capricorn, Saturn rules time. Make every moment count. I think you might do something better with the time, she said, than wasting it in asking riddles that have no answers. Asking riddles that seem to have no answer may seem like a waste of time, but sometimes it leads to discovery. When we all allow ourselves to ask questions that may have no discernible answers, we might find our valuable things and unearth what we truly think and believe. But there is another element to this card, as there are people who will waste your time, not only by asking questions that have no answers, but by deliberately asking those questions, intending to take up your time. There are people in our lives who feel justified questioning, prying, or wasting our time. It is up to you to decide what questions are worth answering and those that serve no purpose and can be left alone. Like Alice, you can find yourself becoming bothered by people's desire to confuse you. When this card comes, it is essential to create a safe space about yourself and know what you are prepared to do, what you are prepared to withdraw from, and what you will leave well alone. Trust Alice on this. There are many people in the world with questions that will simply waste your very precious and irreplaceable time. Answer Only those that bring you closer to a resolution, or that will lead to a greater and deeper way of experiencing the world. Some people love to feel that they are important enough to take up others' time for no sound reason. Don't let them waste your time. Don't wait. Oh God, Jesus, miss me up again, sheep. Ugh, climbing like a damn tree. Ouch. So the divination for this card is someone could be wasting your time by asking questions that have no interest in answering. People not listening or repeatedly asking for assistance, but not heeding advice. Someone wishes to take up a great deal of your time in order to feel more important, listened to, and cared about. Set your boundaries. All right, that's a good one. Okay, if you picked card number 2, the Moldavite, we're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. Okay, that's card 23. But I don't want to go among mad people, Alice remarked. Oh, you can't help that, said the cat. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad. How do you know I'm mad? said Alice. You must be, said the cat, or you wouldn't have come here. Most people like to fit in. Most people like to feel that all the other people feel that they are quite normal. And other people like to be around people who are very safe, predictable, and, well, ordinary. That's so Capricorn. Well, as Alice is told by the wise Chester cat, that we are all mad. There is not a person on this planet that does not have a little secret or a strange little something that they have done or do. And yet, on and on we go, all the time attempting to be normal. And normal changes all the time. Mostly people just want to fit in, to blend in with others, to feel like they do not stand out in any way. Standing out can make us vulnerable. It can make us conspicuous. Although our culture adores its iconic people, we do not generally tolerate differences very well at all. The truth is, we all have our little oddities, and we can exhaust ourselves trying to ease their visibility. We hide who we truly are. We do not speak of who we are, and we try to convince others that we are just like them. This card asks you to consider why you would hide any of your own strangeness when, as the Chester the cat says, that we are all mad here. And we must all be mad, otherwise we would not be here, living another lifetime, brave enough, mad enough to learn more on this journey of the soul. Beginning to realize that someone is interesting, a little bit different, and full of secrets, good and bad. Understanding that hiding what makes you your very own self is not only exhausting, but it is robbing the world of your unique wonder. Discovering that you are a little mad, and so in truth is everyone else. Embrace your eccentricities and own your peculiar genius. Ooh, I like that. All right, and the last one, card number 3, that picked the ruby ring. You got keeping up, immense effort and advance. Another time. That is so Capricorn. Well, in our country, said Alice, still panting a little, you generally get to somewhere else if you ran very fast for a long time, as you've been doing. A slow sort of country, said the Queen. Now here, you see, it takes all the running that you can do to keep in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, You must run at least twice as fast as that. The lesson of your life. Are you taking place at a fast rate, far too swiftly for your to process them? It seems that you are only just keeping up with all the changes coming to you. You must work very hard to make any discernible progress for now. You have been trying and trying to get ahead, and yet you always seem to be in the very last place, or this very same place. This could be in almost any aspect of your life, your finances, your relationship, your career, your success. At this point in time, the answer is to work even harder. You will not have to do this much work with this much effort, perhaps ever again. But the only way out of your current situation is to accelerate, get intense, and push for the breakthrough that is just ahead of you. You will need to devote more time than you would have wished, and sacrifices that will need to be made. However, if you do this, you will push through the resistance and explode into the next stage of your life. Pull all your efforts into surging ahead and watch as you begin to move in the tiniest of ways ahead of where you have been. Once you take that lead, stay focused on where you're going, and you will begin to leave the place that you find yourself in now. When you push through, others will recognize the incredible dedication that you have to your own life. This will inspire them to push forward with their own dreams too. One thing is for sure, the intensity of your approach brooks no resistance. Your movement and energy will drive away all stagnation. Now go. So the deviation for this card is a time of very hard work, getting ahead, determination, and resolve to push through into the next stage, the urge to improve your status and be rewarded, moving quickly with strength and stamina, a great deal to process and integrate. So I hope that was resonating for you, those cards. I'm going to go ahead and pull a collective tarot for this full moon, and it is Seven of Swords. And I also want to pick from my new Akasha Oracle that I got in Shasta. All right. Seven of Swords. I can trust myself. This probably has to do with the Neptune square. Illusion, dishonesty, trickery, and conscious. The Seven of Swords symbolizes that either of you need to see the deceptive situation in full clarity, or that you are tricking others instead. In either scenario, the illusion will not hold up. Stand firmly for what you believe in. Lead by example and weigh others' take on reality against your own world of wisdom. You will see right through the lies. Trust yourself. In turn, if you're avoiding handling a challenging situation in a straightforward way, know that the truth has its way of breaking through. Deliberate and harmful dishonesty is never called for, even if your lie remains unnoticed. It will never feel as satisfying as stepping into your truth. Your conscience will pay the price. Resist the urge to hide your face. Pause to realign yourself with your integrity. Think about how you can be authentic to your noblest pursuits instead of climbing empty staircases. So the radiance set for this card is write down what you know to be true to anchor yourself in reality. So, Capricorn, you might start with something as simple as the color of your shirt or the time of day. Over time, it may become more complex. So it just wants you to ground into the reality, and don't deceive yourself or others. All right. Card. Oh, wow. Okay, there was a lot of cards that flipped over, but I'm just going to read. But, wow. Wow. All right. I'm just going to see what's going on here. This one is benevolence. Okay, so that's very Jupiter, which is opposite from Saturn. And then family. So this has to do with the Cancer energy. Could be difficulty either happening in someone's life or doubt. Okay. Doubt or betrayal. So there's difficulties. But there's good energy that's coming out of it. So let me just read. This card speaks about your capacity to want the best for your neighbor with no strings attached. It expresses open-heartedness. In association with the Lost card, nah. In association with the Imposter card, nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's just the family. So pretty much, I think it's just saying that treat your neighbors like family. And because we might go through difficulties, betrayal, doubt, right, in our family. And sometimes we just need to choose our soul family, okay? Our neighbors, our friends, people that we consider and want to be our family, our soul family. That's what I call them. So I hope that resonated with you, that reading, and I hope you enjoyed the full moon report. If you are new to my channel and you stuck around this far, thank you so much. Please like and share, subscribe to my video by hitting that little bell notification so you don't miss any more videos. And I is happy that I could do this video, and I hope to see you at my paint and sip for the moon gathering this weekend. And yeah, peace out. You're listening to Karina.